This is Pakistan's northwest region, where thousands of workers are racing against time to complete a $2.2 billion mega hydropower project. Construction began 6 years ago, and now it has officially entered its final and most crucial stage, soon to be operational. For hundreds of thousands of Pakistanis, this marks a historic moment. It means no more sleepless nights over power shortages, and for the first time in decades, they'll have greater control over their own water resources. But while Pakistan celebrates, one neighboring country isn't too happy: India. So in today's video, we'll explore what this $2.2 billion hydropower project means for Pakistan, and why its completion is making India uneasy. If you enjoy our content, don't forget to subscribe to AY Global so you never miss our latest updates. Now, let's dive in. Pakistan, the second largest country in South Asia, is home to around 240 million people. And naturally, that massive population means massive electricity demand. In 2023, Pakistan's total power consumption reached 104,000 gigawatts. Yet even that wasn't enough. The country still faces a nationwide shortfall of over 5,000 megawatts, and nearly 40% of its people live without a stable electricity supply. In the capital, Islamabad, summer blackouts have become a yearly ritual. Remote areas depend on luck to get power, and many hospitals are forced to rely on diesel generators to keep the lights on. Across the country, outages average 4 to 6 hours daily, and experts estimate that power shortages shave off about 5% of Pakistan's GDP each year. Part of the problem lies in Pakistan's limited thermal power capacity and its heavy dependence on the Indus River basin for hydropower. The biggest dam in this system is the Baglihar Dam, with a generating capacity of 969 megawatts. The issue? Well, that dam isn't in Pakistan, it's in India. In other words, part of Pakistan's lifeline lies in its neighbors' hands. If India were to restrict the water flow of the Chenab River for political reasons, Pakistan's downstream regions would face crippling electricity shortages. Cities could experience up to 12-hour daily blackouts, paralyzing industries, infrastructure, and daily life. To fix this, Pakistan once planned to build a large hydropower station along the Swat River, a river with strong elevation drops, perfect for power generation. But back then, Pakistan didn't have the engineering capacity or financial strength to take on such a massive project. Costs were estimated to exceed $1.5 billion, an impossible figure for a country already facing economic strain. At that point, China, a longtime friend and development partner, stepped in. Over the years, the two countries had already collaborated on major infrastructure initiatives under the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, covering ports, roads, and energy. Then in September 2019, after multiple rounds of negotiations, the two nations signed a $1.7 billion deal to launch the Mohmand hydropower project. Under the agreement, China would cover about 90% of the total investment and construction costs, while Pakistan contributed the remainder. Within just 3 months, over 200 Chinese engineers and technicians had arrived in Pakistan, along with hundreds of pieces of heavy machinery shipped by sea. The Chinese team quickly began geological surveys and technical studies along the Swat River, a tributary of the Indus. But the area posed extreme challenges: unstable rock formations, deep valleys, and frequent rainfall. Large-scale river diversion in such terrain risked landslides and mudflows. To tackle this, Chinese engineers used more than 100 tons of explosives for controlled mountain blasting, breaking down massive boulders with specialized crushing machines. They also employed China's Beidou satellite system to monitor local weather in real time. Whenever heavy rain approached, the system issued immediate warnings so workers could evacuate safely. After nearly a year of grueling work, in August 2022, the river diversion was successfully completed, redirecting the Swat River's flow toward Pakistan's side. Yet, new challenges emerged. Summer heat could hit 50 degrees Celsius, while winter snow blocked access roads. To overcome these extremes, Chinese engineers introduced several high-tech solutions. Using Beidou satellite precision control, they operated unmanned rollers with an error margin under 2 millimeters. For the 94-meter-thick riverbed sediment, they applied a hybrid design of concrete anti-seepage walls and curtain grouting to strengthen the dam's foundation. In order to protect the surrounding ecosystem, they went ahead and planted trees throughout the site and, built an ecological fishery nearby. With these hurdles cleared, the project finally entered its most important construction phase. Once completed, the Mohmand hydropower station will actually rank among Pakistan's largest. The dam is a 213-meter-high concrete-faced rockfill structure, stretching 717 meters long and 12 meters wide at the top. Its total installed capacity will reach 800,000 kilowatts. That's 110,000 kilowatts more than India's famous Baglihar Dam. When operational, it's expected to generate 2.9 billion kilowatt-hours of electricity annually, which is enough to power 1.5 million households. But beyond energy, it will also provide irrigation, flood control, and a clean water supply. The reservoir will store up to 1.8 billion cubic meters of water, supplying 150 million cubic meters of drinking water every year and irrigating 20,000 hectares of farmland. Economically, the dam could bring over $400 million in annual benefits. Yet, despite these clear advantages, India views it as a strategic threat. Here's why. India controls roughly 65% of the Indus River Basin's total water flow, giving it major upstream leverage. Over the years, it has built 12 dams along key tributaries like the Jhelum and Chenab rivers, allowing it to tighten its grip over Pakistan's water supply. In May this year, India's Ministry of Water Resources suspended the Indus Waters Treaty unilaterally. Satellite data later showed that 6 key sluices in the Jammu region were simultaneously shut, cutting water flow to Pakistan's Punjab province by nearly 89%. This triggered severe droughts, drying up 4 million mu of wheat fields and exposing riverbeds within days. So, although a temporary ceasefire was reached, India never reinstated the treaty in full. But once the Mohmand hydropower station is online, that leverage will definitely weaken. Unlike older dams, the Mohmand project isn't built on the Indus mainstream, it's actually on the Kabul River's tributary, which originates in Afghanistan. That location really limits India's direct control over its water source. In a worst-case scenario where India completely halts water flow downstream, Pakistan's new storage systems could still, sustain essential power and water needs for about 60 days. Meanwhile, another China-built project, the Neelam Jhelum hydropower station, adds 8.2 billion cubic meters of regulation capacity, which is about 1.3 times India's potential annual water interception. Together, these systems form a powerful water management network that allows Pakistan to offset India's upstream control by managing its tributaries more effectively. But the benefits don't end there. Beyond geopolitics, the Mohmand hydropower station is, transforming local livelihoods. In the Swat River region alone, which is home to 30,000 people, chronic unemployment has been a major issue. The project created over 8,000 direct and indirect jobs, giving families stable income for the first time in years. It's also helping strengthen food security. The 2022 floods destroyed 4.5 million hectares of farmland, leaving many areas barren. With the Mohmand project's irrigation systems, Pakistan expects grain output to rise by 180,000 tons annually. Energy-wise, the project is a cornerstone in Pakistan's clean transition. Currently, thermal power dominates 50% of the country's energy structure, with fossil fuels exceeding 60% of installed capacity. In 2024 alone, Pakistan imported 3.14 million tons of oil, a 16.8% jump from the previous year. Once operational, Mohmand will deliver 2.9 billion kilowatt-hours of renewable electricity each year, a big step toward reducing fossil fuel dependence. In the bigger picture, the Mohmand hydropower station isn't just about energy. It's a strategic asset in the China-Pakistan economic corridor. Should India ever attempt to disrupt key routes like Water port or energy pipelines, Mohmand's power supply would help keep Pakistan's economy running. At its core, the project strengthens Pakistan's self-reliance, counters India's regional dominance, and fortifies the balance of power in South Asia. If future tensions arise, it could serve as both an energy lifeline and a strategic deterrent, safeguarding Pakistan's sovereignty while deepening China-Pakistan cooperation. So, to stay updated on our future analyses and upcoming projects, make sure to subscribe to AY Global and turn on notifications. More eye-opening stories are on the way.